.187 at 5810 Murata Avenue. Homicide wants you over there. The coroner thinks the broad was whacked using the Army morphine. Don't say anything, Roy. Just get over there.
I don't want to arrest the kid. They just gave...
So we arrive at our crime scene. We come back to the nightstand.
Barbiturates. What else is rattling around in this thing?
So make sure to further investigate the object.
We should speak to a doctor. Prescribing both drugs would make her life a roller coaster.
Next clue is going to be the jacket.
Quality English smoking jacket. I don't know anyone under 45 who would wear one.
Now we're going to go in and speak to the coroner and investigate the body.
Take a closer look at her head and neck.
Her neck is bruised pretty badly.
Make sure and investigate the body.
Bruising on the forearms, and these look like bite marks.
Very good.
Investigate the ring.
Very unusual ring.
I could be wrong, but it looks like a black sapphire. The eyes are a classic sign of morphine, and the bruises tell their own story. I think one man held her down, and another held her arm and injected her. They put her in the bath to try to cover it as a drowning.
It spread a trail of barbiturates.
Take a look around outside on your way out and see if you can find the syrettes. It would make my theory.
And morphine would have been very quick, and there wouldn't have been much of a struggle.
Okay, so find two guys who recently bought syrettes and weren't junkies, and you might be onto something.
This is her in these photos?
So after investigating the body, we're going to come out and we want to investigate the photos. It's best to look at all three of them, but the main clue is in the center photo.
Maybe she was having a modeling assignment.
Maybe she got her heart
And you also
broken.
want to further investigate
Couldn't take
the
it
object.
anymore. So she ran herself a bath and down some pills.
It's
and
place
then
to start.
Drifted off.
I don't know. Miss Julie, she always had so much fire.
So now we're ready to
So
conduct
much
our interview
drive.
with Miss Reynolds. So we sit down to our interview with Virginia Reynolds. We're going to ask her about the victim's state of mind, the victim's personal life, and the relationship with the victim. She's going to lie to us on the first two questions. For the lie about the victim's state of mind, we are going to use the sleeping pills. And for the lie about the personal life, we are going to use the men's smoking jacket. So again, it's going to be lie, lie, doubt. So after leaving the apartment, we're going to come down the stairs and the trash can right here.
Mal will be pleased.
Well, that's hardly conclusive, given the number of those things we've come across recently.
The autopsy will confirm it one way or another.
So now we are ready to head to our next destination. And that's going to be Dr. Stoneman's practice. Our next destination, Dr. Stoneman. So we come up to the 5th floor to the doctor's office, and we were conducting our interview on Dr. Stoneman. We've asked him about the relationship with the victim, and he lied to us. We're going to ask him about the additional meds, and we will doubt him. Now, the evidence we used for the lie is the pill bottle, the Benzedrine prescription. So that will be our evidence on the lie when we ask him about the relationship with the victim, and when we ask him about additional medications, we will doubt him. So we're now headed to our next destination, the Dassine Dress Store. So we arrive at the dress store, and we have a single question for the store owner about the employment history, and she will tell us the truth.
That's some pearl, Miss Swanson. Would have cost Henry a fortune. He must really love you.
So we receive a clue and go right into the interview of Heather Swanson, and we're going to ask her about the relationship with the victim, and we're going to ask her about Mr. Henderson, and she will tell us the truth on both questions. After concluding our interview, we're going to come outside, use the Gamewell telephone, and we will receive our next destination, which is the coroner's office. So we are headed to the hospital. So after concluding our discussion with the coroner and looking over the evidence that he had, we're going to head right next door to the police station and right into interview room 2, conduct our interview on Henry Arnett. Now, we've asked him about his relationship with the victim, and we doubted him. Now, we asked him about informed of Mr. Henderson, and he lied. And the evidence we presented was the housekeeper's statement. So the housekeeper's statement is the evidence for the lie on the informed of Mr. Henderson question. Now we're going to ask him our final question, which is the burglary suspect, LeBlanc. And
if that's all, Heather's distraught.
Him.
I probably need to get home.
He's in that car at the lights.
Much slack. Gotta get closer.
What have you got?
He bought a ticket for Mexico City tomorrow night.
That's good, but this is better.
Oh my God, it's Fabergé.
Should have seen the look on the pawnbroker's face when I told him to hand it over.
So after concluding our tale on Arnett, we are going to use the telephone or a Gamewell, and it will give us our next destinations, which is going to be, we'll have 2 destinations, the Hollywood Police Station and the Hollywood 9th Beat. We are going to head to the Hollywood 9th Beat next. That's our next destination, the Hollywood 9th Beat.
Come on, let's give him a hand. Right behind you, Wallace, Detective Phelps.
Thanks. Outstanding warrant, armed robbery. Knocked over a drugstore back there, and it looks like he brought his whole posse with him. Bad luck for them.
So after a quick chase and a gunfight on the 9th Beat, we're now ready to head to the Hollywood Police Station. Hollywood Police Station is our next destination. So after coming back to the police station and speaking to the other detectives and looking over the stolen item list, we're now ready to go to Evestrom's residence. The Evestrom residence is our next destination.
Nice house.
So we arrive at the Eavestrom residence, and we have 2 questions for Mrs. Eavestrom. We're going to ask her about the list of stolen items, and she will lie to us, and we will ask her about the burglary incident report, and she will tell us the truth. The evidence we will use for the lie is the Fabergé case. So we will use the Fabergé cigarette case as evidence for the lie she's going to tell us on the list of stolen items, and she will tell us the truth on the burglary incident report. So after concluding our interview, we get our new objective and location, and we're going to take the wheel and drive to Henry Arnett's place.
Quality is an American trait, and Americans
Florence.
recognize quality whether they're...
So you want to find Nett's apartment on your map here, top upper left corner, mark it as your destination. Alright, so after our chase, we come back to Arnett's, and we're going to investigate the suitcase.
You told Heather you're honeymooning without her?
We actually have already gotten that clue. Well, we look at it anyway. Now we're going to investigate the watch.
Vacheron Constantine. It's an extremely expensive watch, Henry.
A graduation present from my parents.
So we sit down to our interview with Arnett, and the first question it gives us is about the professional burglary ring. And after we accuse him of lying, it'll bring up the other 2 questions. So there's 3 questions total. All 3 he is going to lie list. So our 3 pieces of evidence will be the contraband list, the Fabergé case, and the train ticket. For the 3 lies. The professional burglary ring, we use the Fabergé case. The motive for the Randall murder, we use the ticket. And the Mr. Henderson ID, we use the contraband. So after concluding our interview with Arnett, we are now heading to our final destination, which is back to Dr. Stoneman's practice. So we're headed back to the doctor's office. So after getting to the doctor's office and attempting to arrest the doctor, we are going to use the telephone, and then we are going to head to Willie's apartment. Willie's apartment, our final destination.
He's around here somewhere. A big guy. Neighbors say he always wears basketball shoes and a cream jacket. And get this. The kids around here say he plays the harmonica.
Find a game well and have the commander set up a dragnet. We want the area closed off. We'll take this out of the street.
There he is. Waste the son of a bitch.